I hate to do this. Favorite game or not, something's been really bugging me about this one. Hey everybody. Big Iron Riot here, and I got an interesting topic today I've got to dive into. I just have to. It's the rumor that's been circulating for years in the gaming community. We're going to actually explore whether or not Takayoshi Sato was the sole reason Silent Hill had the CG it had for the game that came out. Yeah, let's get into it. Before we do all that, though, I should note that Silent Hill is by far my number one horror franchise, actually game franchise. I grew up on it. It's how I met my wife. It's been an absolute staple in my life. So getting that out of the way, diving into this is even hard for me because this is a rumor that's been around since the dawn of time. And yeah. So let's set the stage then. The original Silent Hill was released in 1999. It was a groundbreaking game known for its immersive and cinematic experience. Even the demos had people reeling. It was insane. The graphics themselves were nuts. It was something you hadn't seen at that time. Animations were clean, crisp, and even for a PlayStation, this was just unheard of. Now, let's talk about the rumor. Many sources on the internet claim that Takayoshi Sato, he's an artist and designer on the original Silent Hill, was the person responsible for creating the game's CGI cutscenes. Okay? The rumor is that he was the sole CGI and cutscene creator. It said that he spent nights in the studio to make these scenes happen. He waited for the doors to close, slept under desks to make sure that in the end he was able to get the appropriate amount of time with the Unix-based systems they were using to create the CG you see in front of you now. But to fact-check this rumor, we have to clarify a few things first. First of all, Takayoshi Sato was indeed a member of the development team for Silent Hill, also known as Team Silent, and he's credited for his work on the game, to be sure. However, the claim that he was solely responsible for the CGI cutscenes may be a bit of an oversimplification. Game development is a collaborative effort, and CGI scenes typically involve multiple artists, animators, and designers. Now, at the time, a lot of the designers weren't fully capable of working with 3D representation, so it was a bit harder. And that required Sato to train a lot of his predecessors in the ways of animating. He had participated in a lot of college courses and things like that to do 3D animation, and a lot of his higher-ups did not understand how to do that. So he did, in fact, train them. This is something he's explained in countless interviews. However, the idea that he is the single person only working on these scenes is something that has not even been confirmed by Konami. Now, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, you can say, well, Konami wanted to save face and ensure that they did not admit that, there was only one guy working on it. However, with such a milestone in the animation department and such long strides made, it seems like it's far less of a opportunistic business choice to just simply leave the man out if he was single-handedly the reason. Now, that's not to say he did not spend countless hours at night working on animation, but to imply that while the janitors were cleaning the offices, he studiously worked on moving Lisa Garland through a corridor of a hospital by himself seems a bit less genuine, personally. The problem is verification. Now, Sato in the interviews has told everyone the current situation. He's explained that he was the man. He was the guy. He was in the corridors while everybody else was sleeping or with their families. He was the man to work on it. And the only reason that Silent Hill took off was these, not to mention the games themselves, but the only reason that the game took off as well as it did is because we had those CGI cutscenes that were ahead of its time by every stretch of the imagination. Was he lying? No, I don't believe he was lying. However, it's been a well-known gamer urban legend since the game came out that he was the man for the job and the only man for the job. I tend to disagree, and looking into it further and searching through numerous interviews and things of that sort, there seems to be nothing to support his claim as well. Now, this may be because at the time they're also working on other games as well. They're also working with other systems. Possibly in an effort to ensure that the story had its urban legend continue the way it did, they moved Sato into Silent Hill 2 as well as Silent Hill 3, giving him a little more power. If I were to venture to say anything, I'd say he was given a higher role in the business or a higher role in Team Silent due to the fact that he had a vast amount of knowledge in 3D rendering when it came to the cutscenes. But did he actually make the cutscenes himself? I'm just now realizing that maybe that's not the case. Now, we have no reason to doubt him, nor do we have any reason to not doubt him. Without Konami explaining their side of the story, which at this point, Konami has been taken over by a bunch of zombies, and they've taken all the franchises we know and love and bastardized them. So getting any solid idea out of them is just not going to happen anymore. So all we have left is Sato's story. So while I may not believe this story, I think it's probably an urban legend that will not go away. And especially amongst the Silent Hill community, I think it's just something that will stay forever. Because there is no true reason to say otherwise. And if there was a part of the team, I'd love to know who the other faces were in charge of the CGI personally. I don't know if they're doing anything now, but I would love to see what they're up to. Anyway, that's my take on that. I think ultimately I'm going to finally put this book to rest. I think Sato was not, in fact, the only guy who animated CG movies for Silent Hill 1. That doesn't change my opinion of anything, really. Hell, it doesn't change my opinion of him. Since then, he's moved on to different companies. He now works for Nintendo. He's doing well. Silent Hill is making a strange resurgence with a number of different trailers, and Bloober Team is taking over for the remake of Silent Hill 2. So I should be excited about that, and I am. But I think I'm gonna stop telling that story. And believe you and me, being a hardcore Silent Hill fan, that was the first story I told people whenever Silent Hill 1 came to play. But I don't know. That's just my take on that. Anyway, if you like what you hear, or you have a comment, or you disagree, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd surely appreciate it. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, where you can get yourself slapped right on the video, like so, right there, or there, or there. In the meantime, this is Riot, and I'm getting the hell out of Dodge, and you guys take care of yourselves. Happy Halloween, by the way. Later.